welcome to another episode of Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television from the economic hub of Nigeria, Lagos. I am Henry Igwebike. Let's start today's program from our newspapers, where we have the opportunity of seeing through all that we have, and possibly from there we move to our main conversation in a jiffy. Please do well to be part of what we do. Have a say in what we say. You can always find or reach us when you visit us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. We have right here in our studios, very honored to have him, Barrister Vansu Feli, Barrister at Law Public Affairs Analyst, to see through all that we have. Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good morning. Thank
you so very much for the time.
Yeah.
So let's start off today, interestingly, with the first daily on our desk. The Punch newspaper, it is a big story. Federal government eyes 796 billion naira annually from 5% petrol surcharge. And the writer to that story, consumer decry new fuel tax after a subsidy removal as law commences January 2026. Patients groan as nurses strike ground hospital nationwide. That's another interesting story there. We equally have another one that says kings must respect ancestral burial rights or quit throne. And that's, I would love to believe, it's as a result of the feud between traditional worshippers and the Muslim faithful as a result of the death of the king. But Barrister, let's take a look at this interesting story, which is the big story. Federal government eyes 796 billion annually from 5% petrol surcharge. What are they talking about here? Help us.
Yeah, there's this levy that the federal government is putting on, which is called the petrol surcharge.
Okay,
that will commence next year. Which people are talking about, that who's going to bear that charge? Is it the consumer, the merchants, or the petroleum marketers? And the conversation is ongoing. It's not very clear, because I read that story 2 days ago thereabouts. It's not very clear exactly what the policy is about. The communication on the policy is quite low. By now we should see more. The federal government should explain more exactly who is bearing the cost of this surcharge. Is it going to be added to the cost, the general cost of petrol from the pump? That's the pump price, or since we don't have a unifying pump price, is it that filling station, whatever they agree to sell, they have to add
on it,
add that one on it, or whatever it is? Now that we have a conversation, Dangote is reducing price as at when necessary to ensure that people get respite, instead of the federal government to encourage the move to ensure that price come down more, because so many things have gone up as a result of the hike in the as a result of the subsidy issue. So it's supposed to be a time when the federal government is supposed to invest in whatever it is that will cause market forces to bring the price down. Because now when you have that surcharge on it, by the time the company arrive at sales price for when they are factoring overrun and profit, everything in it, they will have to factor into it also the surcharge, which they will transmit to government,
last consumer.
So something about this is cost inflation. It's usually passed on. From the standpoint of economics, the social behavior of man is under capitalism, where you have cost inflation, it is passed on to consumer, because consumer, they are actually they are the end. They are the end of the point of production, distribution, purchase, and usage. So usually, because they are end users, you just pass it on to them, and because they constitute the large number of the market force, so passing it on to them is very easy to do. well, then the pain it will rot on them, and the economic shake-up that will create, given that many of them have not had their salaries increase.
Yes.
Many of them have not had. So when you have all this put together, it's a factor that I had thought that the federal government should avoid.
But obviously, they are not avoiding it.
They are not avoiding
it. Yesterday, and in one of our dailies, it states that IMF said that the economy of Nigeria would increase by 3.4%. At the same time, the IMF is being finicky when it concerns the advice and suggestion it gives to Nigeria on how they can hold on to the economy this hard. So don't you think the advice for the surcharge, don't you think it's equally coming from the IMF?
I don't really know who it came from. I know it's a federal government policy.
It's been there for a very long time.
Yeah,
or what?
No, it's been introduced. It's been introduced. But you know, the IMF have never been consistent in their postulations. They've never been consistent. Look at what they're saying, and the economy will rise to whatever. You know, the United States released a tweet not too long ago.
Yes.
Was it 2 days ago,
yes, 2
right?
days ago, yes.
Talking about the fact that the Nigerian elites are squandering and splashing funds with opulence, and in turn they tell the citizens, okay, to tighten and stretching and all
Which
that.
is what we preach every day here.
Yeah, well, that's what
The level of profile gets see by those in government.
Well, that's only what is going on, because the lifestyle of the elite have not changed. Meanwhile, the lifestyle of the led have drastically changed. In terms of disposable income, they're not able to. But for the elite, they seem to be doing more in terms of, they seem to be more brazen now than they were when things were even better. They are more brazen in terms of profligacy and spending and income and all the rest of that.
And they don't even care. That's even the worst of it.
No, they don't.
It doesn't bother them. It's not their business.
It doesn't bother them. Nobody is thinking for the masses. Someone told me that someone said that all over the world, that is it. That is how it is for the masses. And I disagree.
Really?
No, I disagree, because I know of countries where they plan, they debate, they, go to the UK, you see how, when it borders on the masses, you see how careful they are and all that. Do you know that today, Nigeria still have the lowest market, the lowest wage market in the world after Pakistan? Now, what I mean is, the country where people earn the least money in the world is Pakistan.
The minimum wage.
Yes, Pakistan is where they earn the least money in the world in terms of wages,
yes,
followed by Nigeria. Okay, so you can see that the wage market here is nothing to write home about. So now, what is government's take on that? What is the National Assembly's intervention on the wage market in the country? Because it's supposed to be a very critical issue. It's supposed to be a very important issue. Because from there you can tie in all the variables. From there you can tie in housing, low-cost housing, you can tie in tax, you can tie in... If you compare Pakistan's GDP and Nigeria's GDP,
yes, you
will see the injustice that this country is melting on the masses. Because we are nowhere in terms of resources, we are nowhere at par with Pakistan. In fact, they shouldn't be mentioning Nigeria and Pakistan. But every time they mention us with Pakistan, one other place where they mention with Pakistan is in terms of polo. But now we're out of it. Before they mention us with Pakistan, India, on polo.
yes,
Now they are mentioning us the wage market, Pakistan. Just take a look at Pakistan's GDP. Take a look at our GDP. Take a look at what Nigeria was from the 70s to the 80s, the 80s to the 90s, and look at Pakistan, even a country then, because it broke out from
India.
So those are the things. When you look at it, you begin to wonder how that the resources of this country does not trickle down. It's not trickling down. Nobody cares about it. You think you have a governor, you have a representative at the state house, at the federal house, and all that. You think they are representing you, they are not representing you. They are representing their families, their cronies, the governors don't really care. The Kano state governor gave clay pots to their citizens recently. They that's the one before this one gave wheelbarrows. Wheelbarrows. Then the governor of Benue State, Aisen Alia, gave wheelbarrow and wrote on it, Alia cares. You understand? Meanwhile, a lawmaker, Natasha, gave iPads to schools, did an empowerment recently where you empower people with drone for delivery. They are going to be using drone to deliver product now in Kogi State. She gave different items to about 6 universities. 7 universities, 6 in her state, 2 outside. That's Ahmadu Bello and the University of Ilorin. And you could see then about 150 participants got brand new laptop with very high capacity. The pictures are all over.
Yes.
You can see it. One lawmaker
representing just a constituency.
Just a constituency. She's not even a lawmaker from a viable state in terms of resources.
Yes.
Kogi is one of the poorest.
Yes.
Kogi, Ekiti, and Osun.
Yes.
You understand? But look at what she's able to do. Just one person. That is one senator. They have 3.
Yes.
Kogi Central. Look at what she's able to do. Just imagine if she has the same kind of mindset with the other 2, and the 3 of them are able to come together to collaborate and to do something for their people.
Including the governor.
Yeah, including the governor, the speaker of the state house, the representative at the state house. They too, they have a community project, a community this thing that they should be able to do. Just imagine. So, are you saying that Natasha have more resources in her disposal compared to a governor? That's not true. She may not even have as much resources as the speaker of the state house. She may not even have as much resources as that speaker. She may not. But look at what she has done. So it's unfortunate, that the kind of leaders we have they're our biggest problem. I know there's problem with followership, but when it comes to empowering people, government should prioritize it.
Well, that's a very big tumor that needs urgent surgical exercise to get rid of it. A very big problem it is. Let's move on to the Vanguard newspaper to see another interesting story. Big one here. Operating Port Harcourt Refinery ahead of full turnaround, ill-informed. That's coming from NNPC. Lastly, Barrister Vansufeli, it is beginning to unearth itself. All the things we thought weren't there are beginning to come out now. I remember when they started this Port Harcourt Refinery after the revamping, they said everything was A-OK. Invited media people to come look at how Port Harcourt Refinery was working yet again. We saw tankers, trucks, picking products and moving out of the facility. And right now they're saying that it's ill-informed, they're running it when it is not yet good enough.
You see, Port Harcourt Refinery is a conduit for corruption. These refineries are not viable, they cannot work. Experts have said that over and over again. But those who are profiting from it still won't let it be. Do you know there are still workers, the staff in those refineries across the country?
Still being paid?
Yes. Those ones don't want it sold, they don't want it properly revamped, they just want it to be the way it is like that. So that every year we can talk about turnaround maintenance and the rest of that. Experts have said that these refineries are no longer in shape. They cannot work, they cannot give us what we wanted.
But why can't President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's the substantive minister of petroleum, So why is it still difficult for him to make the last call?
If he's if he knows exactly what he wants to do, if he wants to write his name in gold, he should know what to do. You understand? It's either you go build a brand new refinery, or you sell that one out to a private firm that will be able to refurbish it effectively. So that if it fails after refurbishing, it fails at the expense of the investor and not at the expense of the country.
Now, do you believe that government has no business in business? With Nigeria as reference?
With Nigeria as reference, yes, because of corruption. Look at everything that government have managed in this country. None of them is working. From NIPOS to NNPC to Nigerian Airways to, how many, count them, many of them. Because when government is running a business, nobody is running the business. Nobody is government. Government is an abstraction. I know government will have a director, DG that, permanent secretary, that worker, this worker, that manager, this one and another. Government will have all those people put in place, and they'll subject them to be answerable to some certain persons. But it can never be as a private business where somebody is doing the funding and everyone is nonchalant.
But this wasn't the case in the Fourth Republic.
It wasn't the case.
So what happened?
Government managed Nigerian Railway effectively. Government managed the airways.
NITEL.
Yes. Government managed
they were
all of them.
very functional.
They were efficient, yes. They were efficient. Government managed, even when the GSM came, government still retained the local communication.
Yes.
You know, then Rose, NITEL still had.
Yes,
NITEL was to go into mobile
Yes.
operation. But we couldn't, you know. So because of the nature of corruption, you understand, just look at how policemen behave when they are sent out to go and do stop and search. They turn into private businesses. So they're now addressing their own issue. The police will be much more effective if it's run by a private business. Yes. Because anytime government set up an institution for people to go and execute effectively, what they do, when they go, they turn into their private businesses. Look at SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria.
Yes.
Look at substandard goods everywhere. And that institution exists. What they do when they go for inspection, instead of them to do the work, they collect money, they turn to their private business. So that's why I said there's no need for government to be in business. Let business be private.
So how about democracy then?
Democracy is a big brother.
No, privatized.
You can't privatize democracy. Democracy is a big brother. Democracy is because even the way we run the democracy, we only call it democracy. You call it democracy the way we run it, the way governors operate. I don't think we want democracy. Like I've said before, what we have at best is regional monarchy. That your governor is your emperor. It's the one that will come out and say that nobody should enter his state without permission from him. Suspending the provisions of the constitution to assuage personal vendetta and the rest of that. So the whole thing is clumsy. It's so clumsy that it's difficult for you to say really that government in Nigeria can run an effective business. I'm yet to find out one business that government is running effectively in Nigeria. The LNG is not fully government.
No, it's not.
It's both sides. You understand? The reason why we're having an effective supply of power now is because the discos and the
are in charge.
Were sold out.
Yes.
And the major glitch we're having now is because of the same federal government 40% TCN, which is a big problem, like a clog, the wheel of progress.
Because just yesterday, Adeleke, Davido's father, commissioned his $2 billion generating facility.
Yes, that one is a project I've been on for a long
Yes,
time
for a
ago.
very long time.
Yes.
Finally is on, and this is a project that is minuscule to Nigeria if it wanted to go into it.
Very well, very well. I mean, you know now, you know how it was, how power was before.
Yes.
When it was estimated billing, where they can get money from you without even supplying you light. They do not care about that's government managing, you know. But now that they know that if they don't give you power, you will not buy the scratch, the cards to load your this. And if you load, they don't give you power, it will not finish. So they need to give you power to enable you exhaust it and buy another one. So for them to be in business. So that's why you're saying power. Not like anybody is interested in you having light. It's just that the private sector interest in it has to make profit. So they have to go at any length to ensure that you have power, you exhaust it, you buy another one. The more they give you light, the more likely you will exhaust what they have given you and buy another one. That's why having light. When it was not like this, you see light once in a week. And once they interrupt it, once they supply it, it's good and fine. But once they interrupt, you may not see it for the next 4 or 5 days. So that's how it was before. So this is even a better deal now that, even though people are complaining that the tariff is high and the rest of that. So until government come around, okay, and take itself off it completely, and just square up on regulation. Regulate them, just like the telecommunication is now, where you have, is it an icon? What do you call them now? NCC.
Yes.
NCC regulating all of them and making sure that things are. It's even NCC determines even the price they charge per minute, per second, whatever billings. Their input is on the billings, and what it is, they fix it for them.
Yes.
So they cannot just charge arbitrarily. So we will be better off. We'll be better off if we see what on the Nigerian air. See when the federal government want to revive it. The minister says, what's that his name?
Hadi Sarika.
You see what happened. Before him, there was also another attempt. When they changed it to Nigerian air, there's another attempt to have it, you know, but it still didn't work today. So you see how the foreign airlines are taking all the resources away. Capital flight. What we would have gained from our citizens travel a lot, we know. Not like we don't know. Nigerians travel a lot. We're not like South Africans that don't go anywhere and all that. You know your citizens travel a lot. And people come in a lot because it's a big country. Why can't you fix your airways? If you have private airlines, individuals owning private airlines, what is there for government not to undertake and do it effectively? Government can do it effectively. That's what that is it, because
the truth of the matter is I do not know the percentage of Ibom Air, the state government and the private owned whatever it is, but it is just one textbook example of how the government, if really they are intentional, they can really run things, because Ibom Air is state. It's a state
running, yes,
and it's so efficient.
A sovereign is running a business that a sovereign could have run. But the only thing that the Ibom Air is local. They don't have international operation, do they?
No, they have one to Ghana.
Okay, one to Ghana. Yes. Okay, so that's on a small scale. Those are baby steps. Maybe Akwa Ibom may become the air hub of the country, because if the federal government is not interested, the state government can decide to be a national carrier. I mean, if they have capacity to be running around the country, and they are doing Ghana now and all that, why not? They can push one. If federal government cannot maintain the Nigerian air, why can't they, or why shouldn't they partner with the airpeace, for example?
Yes, because that's what Rwanda is equally doing.
It's public-private.
Yes, with Qatar.
It's public-private partnership. So you are able to partner, and the name is out there. You are flying, and so it will also reduce some of the. First of all, we're able to make money off these routes. Then we're also able to do. I mean, the British Airways is managed by the British government. I mean, so many airlines, Qatar Air and all that. Government can really do business, but maybe not in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, because of corruption. So the ineffectiveness usually will come from people who will ground it.
Well, the big question or the elephant in the room is if bigotry and nepotism would allow us see that happen. Tata in India, or Indian Air is being managed by Tata. Okay. Right, and one
Tata, which is an
engineering company,
yes.
Automobile company. Yes, so they are solely 100% managing Indian Air.
Indian Air.
Yes, and which a very good example is having Air Peace possibly manage
yes.
Nigerian Air if it ever exists.
Of course, what stops us from Nigeria from investing in this area? Buy all the aircraft if you are buying them. Lease if you are leasing. Not all airlines buy aircraft. Some lease. In fact, in the aviation business, you have more of lease than outright purchase. You lease, you renew. You lease, you renew. The market is there. Why can't the government assemble the aircraft and hand it over to Air Peace or any of the viable to manage? They will share profit, and the airline will employ more people. More people will gain employment. The government will get revenue.
And Nigerians are ready to pay.
And out of GDP, yes.
Once it is safe and
yes, but we are not serious about it. We think it's only oil that you can make money now. The commercial space is very viable. Nigeria is big. Nigeria is visited, one of the most visited countries in the world, because it's an enigma, and its people are one of the most traveled in the world. So why won't you be thinking transportation?
It's actually very funny, Barrister, because Ethiopia, for example, their only major source of income is Ethiopian Air.
Yeah.
Rwanda, the same thing. Yeah. Air Morocco, the same thing. And this is an opportunity we do not want to take advantage of. But just before we leave for this morning, the Guardian newspaper, suspended school feeding initiative leaves 9 million pupils, 250,000 jobs stranded. Are you okay with school Nigerians trying to feed its kids? Is it okay?
It's not a bad thing.
Or empower parents so they can empower their children, which is better?
No, feeding the children is not a bad thing. I'm looking beyond feeding. I'm looking at the employment it creates, the value chain.
Because that's what they stated there, about 250,000 value chain jobs is lost as a result of.
Why 9 million?
9 million people are no longer taking the advantage.
Yeah, they're no longer taking the advantage. If you have 9 million pupils in school, and you have a policy to feed them, it shouldn't be difficult for a country to undertake. It's a country we're talking about, not one person. A country can handle it. A country can handle it. But for the corruption and the ineptitude that go under, a country should be able to handle it. You understand? It's not a bad thing. Now, if you say just empower parents, you'll be overlooking and undermining the employment it creates. So since government is not going to go to homes, since government will not go to homes to empower people directly, say the poor of the poorest and whatever it is, they can enlist them into the employment of feeding children, cooking and doing all that. That value chain will create that employment. That employment will also empower the farmers who are growing crops. Okay? That's we also empower those who are supplying seedlings. So it just have a ripple effect.
But how do we deal? Because one of the reasons they had to stop it was because of they experienced the same issue they had with subsidy. People weren't bringing in a product, but they were being paid for subsidy. Now, for the feeding program, people weren't feeding kids, or maybe they were feeding lesser kids, but collecting more money for children they didn't feed.
Yeah,
so how do they take care of that?
They have to design the policy and weed off corruption from the process. the government can weed off corruption from the process if they are willing to do so. They should have inspectors, people who will evaluate and inspect what the workers are doing, what those who are managing the affairs of these children, what they do. And they should be able to get direct evaluation from the children. Children don't lie.
True.
If you don't give them food, they will say do not give them. If the food was not good, they will say the food is not good. So you can get feedback from the children directly. And when you're able to get feedback from them, so it will be easier to manage. They should be strict about it. Dismiss people who are, criminal minded. Get serious people people that have passion for children. You can't just lay anybody on that job.
Do you think the office of the first lady, even if it's not recognized constitutionally as a mother, do you think that office would have done better job of managing the project?
The office managing it currently, I think, is the
humanitarian, I love to believe.
Yeah, humanitarian, yeah. That's the ministry.
Yes.
Which is supposed to be under interior.
Yes.
Well, I don't know the capacity of the office of the wife of the president. First, it's not legal. Two, this thing they call it, how many personnel do they have? Or are they going to outsource it? And if they outsource it, what will be the difference between what they will be doing and what is already being done? And because it's not an office that you can rely on. Because first of all, there's no statute creating it. Then it is also not it's not an office that is in existence in elongation. Once the first lady leaves, everybody she brings in goes with her.
Yeah.
You understand? Because I think they are under her employment.
Yes.
Not any ministry employment. Like the wife of the president yesterday, 2 days ago, gave
1 billion.
1 billion to
Benue.
To Benue State. Yes. And who were asking that, what work does she do? Who were asking that, where did the money come? Did she budget it? Somebody asked that the garden, she said people should be doing at the back of that. Maybe her owner started paying to the point of 1 billion. So people were just talking. Because ordinarily, she doesn't have that source of income that should have given her that. So it's government money, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's how it's being spent in this regard. So I don't think that office may have what it takes technically.
Yes, because the reason I raised that submission is I remember during General Sani Abacha, Mariam Abacha had the Women Alive Foundation then, and she touched the lives of women across the country. It was felt. It was felt so very much. And if that was possible with the office of the First Lady, even if it was military, how much more can we do if now that we are with democracy and the flexibility is there?
Yeah, what Mariam Abacha was doing then was one of, you go to a community, empower women and children, move on. Empower women and children, move on. You're just moving.
Yes.
This one, we're talking about subsisting employment and continuous feeding of children. So that one requires much more labor, capital intensive than what it will take for you to just, like she gave this 1 billion now. She's not going to give them 1 billion next month.
Yes, that's true. It might not even come again.
So that one, but the 1 billion will touch lives. Yes. So that's how it is. But to not give her something where she will sit put and be monitoring every day and be discharging functions in continuity to ensure that children are fed every day, Monday to Friday. You need something much more than just a passing office to do. You need stability. You need to be able to do the evaluation proper. You need to be able to get feedback. You need to be able to work around the project. So it's a big thing. Except she takes it and outsources it. In which case, if she outsources it, what will be the difference between what is being outsourced and what was? That's the question you now need to ask yourself.
Sad reality, barrister. In the 70s and early 80s, those that were in school then could testify how well they were fed. those that were in the university back then were fed well. They had the reasons to go to school. Children in primary school had reasons to go to school because they know that when they get there, they'll be fed.
Yes.
And that was how most of the millennials we have today who are well read, okay, got that gusto to have gotten to where they are today.
Yeah, it's an incentive. Learning incentive is food. You know, when you tell children that they'll soon eat, they'll be happy. You understand? They'll be excited. And nothing grows faster into the mind than a mind that is incited. Yes. When you have people with energy, vigor, and enthusiasm to want to learn, they will understand faster, better, and become better citizens. Then when you are trying to make people make their lives to turn around under very very hard conditions. I know what it was then when we were in school then, when they say after the regular class we should stay back for lesson for 2 hours. By that time we would have exhausted the food we came with. We're already hungry again. Want to go home to eat.
Yes.
And that is when that lesson commences. So most of the time, that lesson is just, we're just there. Our body is there. Our mind is not there. It's not working. You understand? Then that is when some teachers will now be forcing you to understand what they are saying. You don't understand anything when you have not eaten. So it's a good incentive for the children.
All right, we just hope that things get better for our children because a country without any is a country that has lost everything. We'll be right back. Barrister will be here to take us on our main conversation. When we return, Jerry Gana backs Obi's return to PDP for 2027 if they must achieve victory. It's still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And if you just joined us, it's still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. Former Minister of Information and PDP chieftain Professor Jerry Gana had stated that Peter Obi would defeat any northern candidate in the 2027 presidential election if he returns to the People's Democratic Party. Speaking on Arise Television, Gana stressed that Obi has strong support in the northern part of Nigeria and that PDP remains a grassroots force across Nigeria. He disclosed that efforts are ongoing to bring Obi back to the party despite his recent interaction with the African Democratic Congress. Gana, who is part of a PDP search team for credible candidate, admitted the party mishandled Obi's exit in 2022. He said Atiku Abubakar should have stepped aside or offered Obi the vice presidential slot in 2023. According to him, such a move would have strengthened the party and possibly altered the election outcome. Addressing the PDP's internal challenges, Gana described them as issues limited to a few elites in Abuja, insisting that the wider party base remains strong and committed. He recalled the party's dominant performance in 1999, highlighting its foundational role in restoring democracy to Nigeria and affirming its slogan, "Power to the people." Let's get talking. We still have Barrister Fansofeli. Thank you so much, Barrister, for hanging on.
Very well.
So what do you see? What's your take on Jerry Gana's submission?
Well, funny enough, I thought of this before in the past, that Peter Obi should go back to the PDP. But when you look at it, you look at the current leadership of the PDP, and the presence of people like Wike, Damagu, and some other persons who have interests, and look at the construct of the National Working Committee, you have some palpitations. Okay, ordinarily, Obi's best bet is to go back to the PDP.
Really?
The PDP is a grounded political party, known, have made its mark. It can be easily rejuvenated. It's a much more fertile ground for Peter Obi than even the Labour Party where he is right now. Okay, where it's one trouble, 1 week one trouble, 1 day one trouble. So, like Jerry Gana suggested, he said the problems within the PDP is about the few elite in it, and that can easily be resolved. So, if there is a uniformity, it will be, because for me it's a good advice, a good counsel, except for the hitches that must be cleared. Okay, if we'll be getting this outlandish support from Jerry Gana. Jerry Gana is another statesman. He's one of Nigerians' most refined politicians. But has been in government so long than ever. You understand? You understand? So it's one person who exactly understands what he's saying. It's not just talking.
He's just one stakeholder that hadn't, moved from one party to another. He's always stuck to the PDP.
Yeah, it doesn't be moving from one place to the other. And the suggestion he's making is a very viable one. For me, I have thought of it before, that Peter Obi should go back, now that Atiku is away from PDP. He should go back there.
To meet Wike?
Yes, to meet Wike, it can be resolved. Wike is not fully in the PDP. It's one leg in, one leg out. He's just hanging to destroy what is left of the PDP. But he can be corrected. You can actually speak to Wike and get him. There's a way his issue with the party, Peter Obi and other, can be resolved. If he has the support of Jerry Gana have 1 or 2, 3 persons too who respect him. With him, Obi and the rest, they can actually go around and do the leg work. If it works, fine. If it does not work, I mean, not everything will work. But for me, I think that is a better ground for Obi than the ADC.
But metaphorically, Wike is like a virus to the PDP. And the best way to deal with the virus is not to pamper it.
Yeah, what Wike is doing, many people would have done the same thing. You know what they did to Wike? Wike, who believed in the party so well, funded the party. At the point when the party was crashing, he was there. After everything, he was betrayed by Tamboa and Okowa, and who? So having dragged in, he swore to destroy the party.
Yes.
That's only what I want to tear it apart. But when you look at it, Peter Obi hasn't really done. I don't think there's any evil or betrayal or that is of reckoning that Peter Obi had done against Wike. So if you want to give it human face, Wike is a difficult nut to crack. If you want to give it a human face, can Wike be appealed to from that standpoint?
But with someone who has given his voice to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has endorsed him for 2027 already.
Yes, he has endorsed him. Endorsing him does not mean Peter Obi cannot contest in PDP.
But that does not mean he would work for Peter Obi.
Yeah, it doesn't mean work for Peter Obi. What Nigerian politics today is no longer about your political party. The Wike that we're talking about today is not yet in APC. He's still in PDP and he's still working with the president. So has the president sacked him because he has refused to defect? No.
But we all know that his spirit is there, and the spirit is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's even a minister under the same. Is a minister under the same political party that he fought against.
Yes.
You understand? So today's politics it's no longer by your political party. People are going to ADC today. And before you know, that coalition will produce some house members, some,
Yes.
you understand?
Yeah.
Like Labour Party
Labour
produce
Party
some.
and
The ADC already won't have lawmakers. ADC have lawmakers in the past poll, you understand? Where Atiku and the rest of them went there to get political upliftment and relevance. So, for me, I thought of this thing because let's check the boxes. Peter Obi in Labour Party with the current chairman, the two factional, the center is not holding. There are allegations that one of the factional chairmen is working for Tinubu.
Aburi, that is.
So at the end of the day, you see that it's not even a ground where he can stand. Then let's move him to ADC. The ADC coalition where you have Atiku, Erufai, Atiku, Erufai, Amechi, former Senate President, the Benue man.
Okay. Yes. Is it George Akume?
No, not George Akume.
The military man.
Yes. So by the time you put all of them together, and the same ADC is saying there must be no favoritism, there must be no what do you call it now? Consensus candidates. That all the parties are equal and they should go to the polls for a primaries. Primaries where Atiku is with Obi. Obi cannot clinch it. So you see that is a block. APC, ADC, PDP down. Which other political party have capacity? Is he SDP? Is it SDP that just suspended the Rufai? SDP that is against the coalition. Where is that where Obi should come from to go? So PDP is a big broader party. It should go back to.
But don't you think this confusion that they are creating are making things easier for President Bola Tinubu?
Well, there's no way they will not politic to find their bearing. Because the ADC coalition would have been a viable option. You understand? But I'm just saying for Peter Obi.
Yes.
If you will make it, you cannot make it under the ADC as presently constituted. Because it's going to go to the polls. Obi's popularity is masses oriented. Masses don't vote in primaries. You understand? Atiku's popularity is elite driven. They are the ones that submit to primaries. They are the ones that are delegates. So Atiku can easily pick it up. So I'm not analyzing for Obi, but I'm saying his best bet is to go back to PDP. Because as it stands now, we don't even know the presidential candidate for PDP.
No, they don't.
Since Atiku left, nobody is looking like it. So why don't you go there, pitch your tent with them? You were there before. He was a foundational member. He was a governor under PDP. So what is there in Labour or in the ADC coalition? Really, if you want to talk about party experience, it's for him to go back to PDP. The day Atiku left, that's the day I told myself, Obi should go to PDP. From there, he can build whatever. It's even easier for him to go to PDP and contest as a running mate than for him to go and do coalition and do running mate. Maybe they can have an agreement after this time, then you understand. But that is not even my ambition or my desire for him, for Obi. He should go to that PDP, play the politics with them, emerge the flag bearer. If you emerge the flag bearer in that PDP, and the obedience comes, because obedience are largely Southerners.
Yes.
and PDP is a southern-oriented. Then the support it gets from the north. There are some northern states that are strong on PDP. So that's what I think. I don't think except he wants to go and start his own political party. It's late in the day. It's late in the day to do that. Even the obedient something party that apply for, and I don't think he is involved in that.
I don't think he is.
So what else are we saying? He has to join the PDP. That's what I think.
But
except I'm not thinking clearly. But that's the best bet for him.
But for Nigerians, especially the vulnerable ones who are going through so much in Nigeria, the best option is to get Tinubu. That is the most important thing. Get Tinubu out of that seat. It doesn't really matter how we need to get him out. Get him out of that seat.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But look at the you call it confusion. Look at the politicking going on. The politicking that have Atiku not respecting any other consideration other than his. Then a Labour Party that is unstable for Peter Obi. You understand? An SDP that will not welcome him. You understand? It's only the PDP that have their arms open. It's only the PDP that we've not seen who is saying, you see PDP in Delta State, they're even scouting for people
to join.
In Delta State, yes, they're looking for who is left because everybody moved. They're looking for word, going from word to word and say, we want to know who are those who have disagreed that we just pick you, make you a ward leader, go and recruit people. We are trying to come back. Not everybody agreed to follow them now. PDP is at its lowest ebb now. The way PDP is now was how PDP was in 1999. When the likes of James Ibori and others, when they were all coming out to contest, people were saying, this one you are coming out. Even if you win, military will still cancel it. That was their nobody who was Ibori's opponent in Delta State? Who was his opponent in the governorship? It was walkover.
Really?
And before you know it, the democracy is 26 years. Yes, because we're just coming out from the Abuja experience, from the military era and the rest of that. Look at what happened before that Third Republic. The Third Republic was short-lived.
Yes.
So what was the motivation that the Fourth Republic will not be truncated after 1 or 2 months? Because the Third Republic was the shortest. It was the shortest.
Yes.
And it gave birth to the Fourth Republic. So the Fourth Republic, people were not interested that this is going to see any daylight.
But the difference was that at that time they had no strong opposition like we have today. Today APC is a very big thing.
Yeah, they had no opposition. Like it's the same thing we were saying. They had no opposition because nobody thought it was going to go anywhere. The military was still in the corner. They were still there. When Abu Salami was handing over to civilians, it was not all the soldiers that liked it. It was not all of them that liked it. That was why when Obasanjo took over, all the military officers that have headed, that have been that have headed states, that have headed any political position were all retired. They were over 100 plus, forcefully retired.
So as to avert.
Yes, now they are the ones. They are the ones that have tested it down that side, and they are the ones that they will not allow the Fourth Republic to rise. He retired all of them. That was one of the strategies he used. From there, little, he was able to complete the first 4 years. Came back again, completed 8 years. That was when people now woke up. Now this is going to be like
tangible,
this.
It's good.
Before then, people that went to just try have become governors for 8 years.
Yeah, because I remember Ojus Okalo in one of his interviews said he practically funded the PDP.
He did. He did. He was one of those the PDP started from one room in Victoria Island. People just came together and said, this man is dropping off this. they started thinking about a new way, because then what you have was the SDP, NRC,
Yes.
the old those political parties. You understand? And before you know it, see where we are now is 26 years. Just like that. So that is why you are now having heavy opposition now, because we are not going back to military rule again.
So it is interesting now.
Yes, so we are not going back to military. So what I think Obi should do for me, I think PDP have his whims and caprices. You understand? But if you ask me today to join a political party in Nigeria, it's PDP. I'll join.
But let's take a look at the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's effect, especially coming from 2014. Let's give him the flowers. He did a lot. If not for him, Muhammad Buhari would not have been the leader of Nigeria. And today he has succeeded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the reason was because the man Bola Ahmed Tinubu was like the fulcrum. He had everything locked down, and he was able to galvanize everybody to himself.
Very well.
Do we have that kind of effect right now? Do we have that simple
Left in the APC.
left in the opposition that might do something that would pose as a great danger?
Well, you may not have the exact and same of what Tinubu is, but at least you have the Jerry Gana that is speaking. Experience is inspiring that move. Experience is inspiring that move. You understand? Jerry Gana have considerable experience. He knows what he's saying. I had thought about it. I didn't have the courage to write it or to post it. You understand? But I thought about it. Peter Obi should just go back to where PDP made him.
Yes.
You should go back home. That's what you should do. Because the political temperature right now, anywhere he goes, there's a blockage. In ADC, Amechi will not allow him to do any.
Yes, very true.
Amechi is already saying he's contesting. He wants to do one term. Atiku is there. So at the end of the day, 3 of them will go to the polls, primaries.
And obviously, Atiku would take the.
And by that time, it will be late for him to pull out, because by that time, PDP would have, they would have created their own candidacy and all that.
But let's take a look
So
at
this is the time. This is time to leave.
Very true. But let's take a look at the character of the man himself, Peter Gregory Obi. People who have worked with him closely have stated that he is one person that you can't predict him. He is not certainly difficult to work with, because you don't know where he's going to. He's always very careful of what he would say. If you would turn around to use what he has told you to come against him, and you don't know where he stands exactly. How do you think it's possible to motivate this man, Peter Obi, to do what the people are asking him to do?
He is approachable now. One of the things there is that he's approachable. And the moment Jerry Gana spoke, he got the message.
But Kenneth, the lawyer, said, especially when they were having issues with the Labour Party, Kenneth said that he had told him to leave Abure alone. But just at the time he had agreed to leave Abure, he went there and sat with him and had a good night.
Peter Obi had no choice than to leave. Kenneth was right. He has to leave Abure.
But he did not.
No, he will leave Abure to where? As at that time, where will he be going to? As at the time Kenneth told him, where will he be going to? When Atiku is in the PDP, to come to PDP, to play with Atiku again? He couldn't have left to nowhere. He will leave to somewhere. And Kenneth should understand now. You understand that this is the time he needs to do. Because Kenneth has already swore he has nothing to do with APC again. Not so with PDP. You understand? So there's a need for, because PDP earnestly want to go back to the center. That's where they were before, for years, for 16 years. They want to go back there. And the shortest cut to go back there is with a viable candidate that is sellable all over the country. So you should use a Peter Obi to get back to the center, then continue your this thing. That's it, because He is a byproduct of the PDP. He was a governor of the PDP for 8 years. So I don't see anything wrong with him going back to the PDP. Let him go there. Let him face the problem he's going to face there. Because he left that political party when they were having issues with the flag bearer and candidateship and all of that. He left the PDP to Labour, yes, where he is. Sorry, I made a mistake. He was a governor under Abga.
Yeah.
Yes, partly Abga, yeah, and partly PDP in his 8 years.
Okay.
Before he left for
the PDP.
For PDP, yes. Or he served under Abga for either of the two for the 8 years before he came to PDP.
Yes, he was solely with Abga. I remember when, because people still use that to taunt him when Abga, he said, yes, that he would never leave Abga for, yes, any party.
He's in Abga, not PDP. So, yes, that should be corrected.
He was with Abga, then PDP, then Labour Party. Yeah. Then we do not know where he is now currently, but he's still with the
Labour Party.
The Labour Party.
At the last count.
Yes. Well, this conversation is actually very interesting. I love the permutation. Usually when I watch Ghanaian TV station during the election cycles, you see all of these permutations happening, and it's so interesting when you watch them discuss all of these things. Mahama, the current president of Ghana, had no choice or had no opportunity, but because he was the Obi of the Ghana people, they voted him in and all, and it was all because they had an electoral system that were intentional.
Yes,
they were corrupt free.
Yes,
all of this conversation we're having today, awesome, great, but when we do not have an electoral system, that
it goes to no issue. It goes to no issue. That's the sad thing about it. So there's no way we'll permutate from now to whatever if we don't have that electoral reform. We're still going nowhere. We have not even legislated the beavers and all other machineries and equipment that will make the election free and fair. We have not legislated them. We do not know whether in the next 2 years it will even go through legislation, because the person that ultimately signed it is the current president. So we don't know how far. And our legislators are not even making any move to get that to the table. It appears that they like the way things are because it keeps them in office. Yes, they rather love the indigenization. Though Carlo has dropped the indigenization thing. He has dropped it. The bill. Yes, the bill. You know, so those are the things they are very so concerned about, rather than, you know, put in these laws that will make Nigeria a better place. That's the time we have for us. I would love to say thank you. Please do well to visit us. You can always find us when you see us at Enterprise TV and news.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here. It's my pleasure. All right, we have to go. On behalf of the entire team of Enterprise Television, we'd love to say thank you once more and have yourself a splendid day. But most importantly, stay safe. God bless Nigeria. Bye-bye from me.